Well, welcome to your 4 to 5 on this Tuesday. I'm Sydney here with Eric and Hunter. Good afternoon to the both of you.
Happy Halloween.
On this
That's
spooky,
right.
spooky Tuesday, right?
I love the, and you know, the weather looks like it's going to work out perfectly for trick-or-treating, so I think we're going to be okay.
It even looks spooky behind us,
It
doesn't it?
doesn't it? A little bit ominous.
Very fitting.
Well, we'll talk more about weather, but first we begin with our top story in the Triad. Just this morning, Toyota announced a nearly $8 billion investment into its battery manufacturing plant at the Liberty Randolph mega site.
It will add 3,000 more jobs to the community, bringing the total to 5,000. Just amazing. Once the plant is fully built, that total investment will be $13.9 billion.
Yeah, this is massive here. WFMY News 2's Hannah Jeffries joins us live from the mega site with more details on this huge project.
Yeah, guys, it's definitely going to be big. Today's announcement is 13 times the original investment that Toyota made back in 2021. And construction here at the site in Liberty will continue, the company says, till about 2030 as they build the walls, which will house those new electric vehicle battery production lines. Now, this morning, Toyota announced an additional $8 billion and 3,000 jobs. The company says the investment will give them the ability to add 8 more battery production lines, giving this plant 10 lines in total. In 2021, Toyota initially announced they were coming to Liberty with an original investment of $1.29 billion and the creation of 1,750 jobs. Over the past 2 years, it gradually invested more money and created even more jobs.
That plan has now been put on steroids a little bit. But what's key is the foundation won't change. This Toyota DNA that we have for continuous improvement and respect for people, how we get people ready for the job, team members for the job, that won't change. We just got to widen our net a little bit more. We have great success in this 60-mile radius around our plant. And if you think about the 12-county area, 1.7 million people, we believe we're going to be okay.
Now, in a nutshell, this announcement brings the grand total number of investments to just under $14 billion. It will also go to create 5,000 jobs right here in Liberty. For now, live in Liberty, I'm Hannah Jeffries, WFMY News 2.
Hannah, thank you so much. Governor Roy Cooper is excited about Toyota's investment. In a tweet, he says, quote, North Carolina's transition to a clean energy economy is bringing better paying jobs that will support our families and communities for decades to come.
Now, this announcement does not come as a surprise to the area. Piedmont Triad Partnership President and CEO Michael Fox says Toyota stated in the past that there would be more to come. Fox says, while no one knew the timing or the scale of these additional investments, it's exciting for the area. He says North Carolina is one of the 4 fastest growing states in the country. With this announcement, they are working to ensure the Triad's ready.
It's not just housing. We need all kinds of infrastructure. We're very blessed with good transportation infrastructure with rail and great airport and highways, but we need to make sure that we have the water and sewer capacity in some of the areas that currently don't have it, and we need to make sure that we have broadband.
Fox says this will not just grow Liberty, but it will call for more suppliers to come to the area. The need for more doctors, veterinarians, more repair shops, and small businesses will grow. Fox says the Triad partnership will continue to work to ensure the needs are met. He says the area has a growing working age population, which will help meet the demand. Not only that, but many local government planning departments and inspection staff are at capacity, so he says they're working to ensure there are adequate resources. Fox says while this puts the Triad in a great place, the planning can't stop here.
It makes it important that we continue to focus on the things that got us here, which are preparing the sites and making sure that we have the infrastructure available, you know, all those things, the schools, the water, the sewer, the broadband, the housing. That makes it the great place to live, which is why people want to be here.
I also spoke with construction companies building homes in the area. Many say they are seeing the demand already and expect that to only ramp up from here. They did warn folks, though, too, because of this growth, the cost of building a house will likely go up because of that demand.
Well, we're getting ready for a huge change. Already really saw that change today, didn't we? Staying in the 40s for most of the day. In fact, our high temperature will probably have to go back to midnight last night to see the high for today because we've kind of dropped steadily throughout the day. That'll happen into the night tonight. This freeze warning in effect until Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. for just about the entire viewing area, except for Montgomery County. They're in a freeze watch there. Colder air starting to filter in. Now, some of these showers, you can see they're already starting to push off to the east, and we're actually seeing some clearing in our mountain and foothill communities already. The trend for this, of course, is to continue on to the east. So we think for trick-or-treaters, maybe at the beginning you might have a little drizzle or mist out there, but for the most part, I think we're going to be in decent shape. Now, winds will start to pick up, especially in the overnight. As that front moves by and high pressure moves into place, we could see those wind gusts 25 to 30 miles per hour here and even higher in the mountain and foothill community. Just a quick note, our low tonight is 32. Again, we think trick-or-treaters should be in good shape. All sunshine though, Wednesday through Monday. How about that? Upper 40s tomorrow. We'll see the coldest morning of the week is 28 on Thursday with a high of 53, and we bounce back to the upper 60s this weekend. Turn those clocks back Saturday night.
Vandalism at one of the Triad's historically black colleges. Right now, police are searching for the suspect or suspects who defaced parts of North Carolina A&T's campus. The university says someone painted over one of the school's entrance signs and vandalized 4 other buildings. A&T says its cameras detected someone who was wearing all black with their face covered and carrying a black book bag. They were walking on the campus while officers were patrolling residential areas as well as other sites where groups of people gathered. We spoke to some students upset to see this happen during homecoming week, a time of school pride and unity.
But it's not really doing nothing really, in my opinion, but kind of just making our school look crazy and looking messy when this homecoming about to come up, and now they have to focus on trying to clean this up before everybody comes to campus on this weekend.
The school says some of the messages spray painted on campus signs and buildings were political. Most of the messages have been removed and any necessary repairs are underway.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup now. 2 kids are recovering after a shooting in Greensboro. Police say it happened on Sunday as the 9 and 12-year-old were leaving a party on Florida Street. The kids were initially taken to the hospital with injuries. The 12-year-old is still there in stable condition while the 9-year-old was treated and released. Police have not shared any information about a suspect. Meanwhile, in Davidson County, Molly Corbett and her father, Tom Martin, could soon learn their fate. It's day 2 of the sentencing hearings for the father-daughter duo. Just yesterday, they both entered plea deals in the 2015 murder case of Jason Corbett. Molly Corbett pleaded no contest to voluntary manslaughter, that is, while Martins pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter. They were accused of beating Molly's husband to death after an argument, though they claim it was in self-defense. We'll let you know once a decision is made. And a white flag night in Greensboro. The designation is to alert the homeless that the Interactive Resource Center will be open due to cold weather overnight. Now, temperatures made a dramatic drop into the 40s. Instead of sleeping outside, people without a home can stay at the center on Washington Street. Intake starts at 8 p.m. It comes as the city of Greensboro's pallet homes for the homeless are scheduled to open next month. We'll be right back.
You know, over the years, I've told you countless times about the fabulous collectible cars at the Greensboro Auto Auction, but this one goes a little bit different this time. That's because country music and TV star Tim McGraw's 71 Cutlass is up for grabs this weekend, and you can be there to see it, or if you have the money, buy it. I spoke with the man with the best name in the car business, Johnny Ransom, for all the details. Yes, I know you're looking at a picture of Tim McGraw and thinking, what does that have to do with the Greensboro Auto Auction? Johnny Ransom here to tell us you got a piece of his property here.
Oh, we do. We loving it too. This is a 71 LS7 that Chip Foose done the complete restoration on it for his 40th birthday.
I mean, look at these tires.
All one-off. They will all come out. Yeah, that's his Chip Foose's logo.
Wow.
These are one-off tires, one-off steering wheel, LS7 Corvette motor inside, convertible top. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. He also, too, the custom interior that he got to choose out personally in the front and in the back also. Bucket seats.
It looks like hand-stitched leather. Too.
Oh, it is. It's amazing.
So this is as pristine as you're going to get in a 71 Cutlass.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you want a piece of history here and something that belonged to Tim McGraw, which we sold his wife's Corvette a year and a half ago. And now we're going to sell his car.
So real quick, this was put together in this kind of detail for his 40th birthday, is that right?
That's correct, from his wife. His wife lined every bit up, Chip, to come to a surprise 40th birthday party for Tim McGraw, and they had this done for him for his 40th birthday.
That's great. Johnny, you and I didn't get that for our 40th.
No, we didn't. 3,000 miles, that's all he put on it. That's it, 3,000 miles.
That's incredible. And you got a lot of other things too. Give me just real quick, give me like 3 or 4 highlights. Of
we got a 06 all-4 option GT40, should do over $500,000 this weekend. Also, we got a 58 custom LS7 Corvette motor, Corvette over here, black and silver also. It's going to do close to $300,000 also. And then we got this great collection called the Rag Top Collection. 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, all convertible Chevrolets.
Gosh.
And it's amazing, all in a row.
That's incredible. Plus there's stuff that you and I can afford too, don't forget that.
Absolutely.
So we'll see you out here.
All right.
So if you've never
really
been
cool.
to this, you should go. I mean, even if you don't know anything about classic cars, it's just when you hear them announce it, it's like if anybody watches the Barrett Jackson stuff, which is the big one out west. This is like a slightly, not much, slightly scaled down version of that. But Tim McGraw, so Faith Hill gave it to him on his 40th birthday, had it completely customized, brand new convertible roof, new tires, everything, and that's probably it's definitely a 6-figure car. But Johnny says he thinks it'll go 150 to 200, but really it just depends on what somebody will pay for it. You know?
That's crazy. I remember growing up watching those auctions. They were super
Really?
fun. But
They're
now
fun.
asking myself, I'm like, so the lottery's on Wednesday.
There you go.
Could I have the money to put something down?
Now you're
on,
thinking. Now
you
you're
know?
thinking strategically. I think it would just, I don't really know a lot about classic cars, to be honest, but I think it would be cool to go and see all of those cars in one place. I'm just the oohs and the ahs.
You know what?
And so they tell you kind of what each, you know, if you meet a person at each car.
They read everything
cool.
about the car
Okay.
and why it's unique. But what's really cool is to watch the people with cell phones, because they're bidding for some wealthy person somewhere else.
Oh, that's so
and
cool.
you watch them on the phone and they're bidding,
right.
okay, now we're at this much for this car. It's really cool to watch. So
That's pretty awesome.
it's this
That would be
weekend.
cool.
You got to head out there.
Right.
Get some pictures of some nice cars too.
Yes.
Over there, right?
6-figure cars. All right,
what I'm
we're
talking
coming right
about.
back.
These are mine.
you know, I'm sitting here thinking about the trick-or-treaters and what they're thinking, and moms and dads trying to get the timing together. I think the majority of this, you know, give us another couple of hours, most of this is going to be out of here. Southern Piedmont, maybe Montgomery County, it might be a little more stubborn where you are, hanging in there for a little bit, but for the most part, I think by the time the kids get out there, and if you're going to start around 6:30ish, I think we should be pretty much done by then. Definitely north and west for sure, but I think most of us will see this rain out of here. Cold front moves through, winds pick up tomorrow. Wind gusts could go as high as 25 to 30 miles per hour here, and maybe even higher in the mountain communities. We are at least filled with all sunshine there. That is for Wednesday through Monday. How about that? 49 degrees tomorrow. The coldest morning is 28 on Thursday, bouncing back to 53 for Thursday afternoon, and then 60s through your weekend. Weekend not looking all that bad. 68, 69 Saturday, Sunday. We might break 70 by Monday of next week.
Well, for all the antique store lovers, one store in North Carolina is one to add to your list. Dead People's Stuff Antiques in Lenoir, as the name suggests, is full of dead people's antiques. And although it's not quite as morbid as it sounds, Reuben Wallace gives us a look inside.
It's a catchy name. Real antiques are truly dead people things, over 100 years old usually.
It is a bunch of dead people's stuff, man, ain't no doubt about it. This is the sort of place when you walk in, you'll know it when you see it.
Because of the name, they come in and they look for odd things.
Like this shirt, I found at a secondhand shop one time, so, you know.
Bones, animal skulls, I have wet specimens, such as snakes and spiders, or old funeral signs. And I just purchased new caskets. They are new old stock. They are actually, we're in the basement of a funeral home in Pennsylvania. The people that die, all their estates, all their things that the children don't want. So we try to bring in our store to give it new life, to go to another family, to last another 100 years. And there's almost a story behind everything I find. I picked this picture up actually just 2 weeks ago. And one reason I actually hadn't put it out yet, it's kind of been, it puts off sort of a vibe. We would lay it down this way, and in the morning we come in, and in the elevator, it is actually sitting back up this way. I have not had a chance to do any investigation on, try to find out who it is. Hey, how are y'all? Hey, how are y'all doing? We had a customer come up, told us that someone was going up the stairs that was off limits. And we go back there, there's no one there. We ask her what she looks like, and she said, older lady, large black dress. This is our area here, and you can actually see the boards are actually, the entire thing's blocked off. There's no way up the steps. And when the other customer came, she actually said the lady had walked up these steps and was halfway up, just standing, looking down at everyone. All these people that do pass away and their family, they don't know what to do with their stuff. They take it to the dump, and we don't want any of that to happen. We want to make sure we can repurpose it, reuse it. There's so much of the older things that will last forever, and we want to make sure they do.
Well, I know you're wondering, since we're kind of now talking about Halloween and spooky things and all of that stuff, we had to get creative here on set and bring out our Halloween costumes. So we're going to talk about this topic first, but I am Simba from Lion King.
All right, so look, they just said you need something to put on, and we happen to have an apron over here. So I'm a cook who apparently wears a suit to cook his Betty Crocker baking basics.
Yeah, wow!
And this is a queen.
I was going with Burger Queen because your girl likes to eat. So.
Okay, so on this topic, exploring dead people's stuff, it's a little chilling for me, I would have to say.
So it's perfect. It's perfect for Halloween. I love, and I've done a zillion ghost stories, and I love doing the old buildings and things that move and go creep in the night. Yeah. Doesn't bother me.
Okay.
I like it.
The dolls, absolutely not would I be buying another
dolls.
Person's dolls. I'm sorry, but that is what, Annabelle? What is that movie?
Annabelle.
Yeah.
Or it reminds me of The Boy. You remember The Boy?
Oh, yes.
Scary movie with the
Our
doll.
producer just asked me, would you buy clothes that belong to someone who's passed? Does that freak you out? Like, would you buy a shirt at that store?
I have done.
It's a no for me.
I mean, if you get something from Goodwill, you don't know.
True, exactly.
You really don't? I thought about like a living places too, like apartments. You don't know if that was a place where someone used to.
Yes.
You don't know that.
Estate sales all the time.
Yes,
that's what
right.
I think of. You get great furniture. I got a leather coat once.
You do. I mean, you get good stuff at estate sales. Yeah. That is true.
Well, our Halloween conversations continue after the break.
According to the National Retail Federation, Americans are expected to spend over $12 billion on Halloween this year. CandyStore.com made a list of the top 10 most popular trick-or-treat choices. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, M&Ms, and hot tamales round the top 3. And the controversial candy corn is back on the list at number 8.
Why is candy corn the most divisive of all Halloween candy? Let's connect the dots. Love it or hate it, candy corn is a staple of Halloween. The tri-colored triangles bring strong responses from its fans and even stronger reactions from its critics. Since it has no contrasting flavors, it can end up just tasting intensely sweet. That can cause palate fatigue, like eating spoonfuls of sugar. There's also the matter of bugs in the candy. The lac bug produces a waxy, waterproof coating used in things from paint to food. It's usually called confectioner's glaze, and it gives candy corn that shiny exterior. But if you are on Team Candy Corn, you're not alone. According to USA Today, 9 billion kernels are produced annually. And you can expect to pay more for candy this year. Data Assembly, a retail price tracker, says prices are up 13% this year. And that's connecting the dots.
Oh, candy corn. Well, this got me wondering, what candy or treat do you love to hate? Well, Billy said Reese's Pieces. Melita says gummy, anything worms, bears. Oh my gosh, I know. I was so surprised. Yes. Lolita said anything sugar-free. Joseph said Twizzlers. Yes, please do away with the Twizzlers.
Yeah, I don't like those either.
And Sharon says Three Musketeers. And I just want to say, if you are wondering why no one said candy corn, well, they did. I got almost 10 responses of people just not liking candy corn at all.
That's a love-hate thing.
Poor candy corn.
I know, and I actually like it.
Well,
I know. Can you imagine not being liked as a candy? So sad.
Like everybody loves candy, but not
but
candy.
not
But
candy
not
corn.
you, candy corn. I honestly liked it until we watched that. Bug secretion?
Yeah, I mean,
It's interesting.
I have to pretend I didn't hear that. Because Sydney looked at me, I said, "What are you saying, woman? Don't tell me that there's bug secretions on this candy."
Right. So, what's your all's favorite candy to receive? on
Reese's
Halloween?
peanut butter cup.
Yes.
By far.
That's top 3 for me, I would say.
I agree. And
But I
Snickers.
like sour anything.
Ooh.
Sour Patch Kids, nerds.
Sour.
I love all that.
The gummy bear response really just surprised me,
That
huh?
one hit my heart.
Yeah.
So this is weird. I like gummy bear. I love gummy anything. But if they make it too big, it grosses me out.
I don't like it too big either.
Yeah, where you could like take a whole. I don't like that. Like little tiny.
Keep them
bites.
small.
Yep.
Keep it small.
Yeah.
So strange. All right, we're coming right back. Welcome back, everybody. Hunter, Eric, Sydney. We're on a first name basis now. Don't you think?
Absolutely.
Us, yes.
You, us.
That's
It just
right.
helps you get to the point, too.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Keep it quick and
Quick
Yes.
intros.
Well, happy spooky Tuesday, Halloween.
Yay.
I'm even looking at the sky cam here in Winston-Salem. It definitely gives a little dreary, spooky vibes, Eric.
That's going to change.
Okay.
It's gonna change. Now, we'll stay cold for a while, but that'll change heading into the overnight tonight. We'll clear out.
All right. Well, before we get a check of your Halloween forecast, a major investment into the Triad community. This morning, Toyota announced a nearly $8 billion investment into its battery manufacturing plant at the Greensboro-Randolph mega site.
Not only only does it increase the overall investment to $13.9 billion, but it raises the number of jobs created to 8,000, with an additional 3,000 created with this recent announcement. Now soon, the Greensboro Randolph mega site will be the headquarters of Toyota's electric vehicle operations in North America.
The company says this investment will give them the ability to add 8 battery production lines, giving this plant 10 lines total. Toyota is even partnering with multiple Triad colleges and universities to make sure students have a job when they graduate. The company says it's honed in on hiring people from the area who they can teach to become battery manufacturers.
Governor Roy Cooper tweeted about Toyota's investment. He says, quote, North Carolina's transition to a clean energy economy is bringing better paying jobs that will support our families and communities for decades to come, end quote. The Toyota battery plant keeps giving Triad
And the Toyota battery plant keeps giving the Triad a jolt. With the latest investment, Greensboro could soon become a top destination for people in the manufacturing industry. WFMY News 2's Julie Luck met some of the Toyota workers who jumped at the chance to live and work in North Carolina.
So far, I absolutely love it here.
April Mason is getting settled in as a new Triad resident. She moved here from Alabama a few months ago to help the new Toyota battery plant get off the ground. With nearly 30 years with Toyota, she admits she likes change and challenge.
I love to learn new things, and this is all new. There is never a dull moment. My life has never gone faster, but it's all good.
Amanda Waugh moved to North Carolina at about the same time.
So were you one of the people who said, sign me up?
Yes, I was. I raised my hand, volunteered, made some phone calls. How can I get in the door?
She worked at a Toyota plant in West Virginia, where she was born and raised. She relocated to move up in the company and live in a new and exciting place.
So you get seasons, you have some trees, you have a little bit of mountains. So I feel like I'm still in West Virginia because of the environment, but there's just so many more opportunities and so many things to do here.
April and Amanda are among Toyota Battery Manufacturing's first 200 workers. Half of those employees are from out of state, itching to be part of the growing electric battery industry.
We've had people lined up. As soon as they heard North Carolina, hands started to go up. We started to get emails, pick me, I'm interested.
They're working at a temporary site in Greensboro while construction continues at the Greensboro Randolph megasite in Liberty. It's nearly 1,900 acres, the size of 1,400 football fields. Also transforming is the town of 2,600 residents, with some new restaurants and businesses and more on the way.
So your phone is ringing off the hook?
All the time.
There's so much interest, the town had to hire a new staffer.
But whenever you get that many development questions, it's too much for one person to do.
Liberty's mayor, Fillmore York, gave me a tour of one of the future developments.
So all this land, this is what, 300 acres?
Yep.
The land that's about 2 miles away from the mega site is slated to become a neighborhood with at least 150 homes. Housing is needed for the 2,100 people who will work at the plant.
How different will this town look?
It'll be a change that they've never seen before, most likely.
Some of the Toyota workers already live in Liberty.
We see a lot of strange faces, which is good, which is very good.
Others are scattered across the Triad. Amanda lives in High Point, April is in Summerfield, and so is Michael McField.
I felt like if I would have missed this opportunity, I would have missed out on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, because this is the biggest change in the automotive industry in over 100 years.
Change is what Michael, his wife, and 3 children needed. A new beginning after his oldest son died in a car crash at 18.
I think moving here kind of helped us through the healing process. We're still healing, and I think moving here, it kind of helped us with a fresh start. Toyota and the state of North Carolina kind of put their arms around us and help us heal and grow through that moment as well.
All 3 continue to grow within the company. Altogether, they have nearly 50 years under their belts. The Toyota battery workers are bringing experience, new energy, and staying power.
It was just like putting on a comfortable pair of tennis shoes, like this is it, this is where I belong, and I'll stay here till I retire.
Let's talk about a changing forecast. With colder air moving in, as we speak. We've seen temperatures in the 40s for the better part of the day, but we'll get down to the freezing mark tonight. In fact, the actual overnight low forecasted 32 degrees. So freeze warning in effect, which means that you'll be at or below freezing for at least 3 or 4 hours in the overnight period. We think that will happen. So that's for pretty much every county in the viewing area except for Montgomery, and they're in a freeze watch. That'll go until tomorrow morning as well. So we'll watch for that. Most of the rain is now starting to move out of here, and it will get windy tomorrow with wind gusts going upwards of 25 to 30 miles per hour, just depending on where you live. Tomorrow, it's a cold start to the day at 32 with a high of only 49, and then sunshine through your weekend. Coldest morning Thursday at 28. We're up to 53 later that day. Low 60s Friday, upper 60s close to 70 for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And don't forget, Saturday night, we turn the clocks back.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. There's a new dominant COVID-19 subvariant in the U.S. The CDC says HV1, part of the Omicron strain, is responsible for more than 1 in 4 cases nationwide, and nearly a third of all cases in the Mid-Atlantic region. Medical experts believe the current updated COVID vaccines are effective against HV1.
A new report from the CDC shows a majority of Americans are using the internet for healthcare reasons. In the second half of last year, about 6 in 10 adults looked up health or medical information, with women more likely than men to use the web. And nearly half of 30 to 44-year-olds are using the internet to connect with a doctor's office.
An important consumer alert concerning widely used eye drops. The FDA is warning people to stop using more than 24 over-the-counter eye drop products because of its potential risk of an eye infection that could lead to blindness. Federal health officials say CVS, Rite Aid, and Target are removing their products.
Yeah, it's time to talk sports, and one of the top high school football players in the nation, he calls the Triad home. Coming senior Jonathan Paylor is putting up huge numbers on the gridiron. He's racked up over 2,800 yards, 39 touchdowns in the Cavaliers' 10 regular season games so far. Paylor will not have to go far to play his college football. He is committed to play for head coach Dave Doran at NC State. He tells us what stood out and what made the Pac the perfect school for him.
They literally made me a priority since the first day I came on campus. So after the first camp and they offered me, they're letting me know off the gate, it was like, okay, yeah, these guys are going to push hard and they're going to continue to push hard. And what really set it over the top is when one game I showed up and they're chanting my name. And once they chanted my name, I was like, okay, yeah, no other college have ever did this before. And it's the first time for me. Okay, it lets me know these guys have got me on top of priority. And they let it known since the day I got on campus. Perfect pick for me for the Wolfpack, Coach Doran. Coach Doran was a fantastic guy. He really knows how to recruit a player, recruit a family. But overall, he has did an amazing job as in just recruiting my dad, recruiting my mom, and getting those guys involved to know that, okay, he cares about more than you than a student athlete. He cares about your grades, and then how your well-being. Like overall, he literally takes you and be like, how was your day? And how you been? And how's your mental health? Everything like that. So that really intrigued me to go like, okay, he cared about me as a person more than a student. Overall, it's like a Naheem Hines. Okay, so he's a former player there. He's now at the Bills. He's literally injured right now, but overall, he was a fantastic guy there. He ran track and played football, so he's the type of guy that I will look up to. But overall, I'm like literally like a Tyreek Hill build. So like I'll be playing everything, but a little bit Deebo Samuel too because I play running back. But overall, I'll be on everything: kick return, punt return, offense.
All right, listen, as long as we're talking sports, you don't want to miss this. We are the official home for the Carolina Panthers. So we're bringing back our Panthers ticket giveaway here at WFMY News 2. All you have to do, answer a couple of Panthers trivia questions on our website. Over the next month or so, one lucky winner will have a chance to get 2 tickets to a Panthers home game plus a swag pack. There will be 4 different opportunities to win, starting with trivia this week. Trivia for Week 1 giveaway closes this Friday at 3 p.m.
Ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together like a classic combination. Carved pumpkins. I mean, I think they look so cool when they're all done and all lit up, but carving them, such a mess. And it takes a while. So a lot of people simply paint their pumpkins. It's still a little bit messy, but not as messy as the whole carving thing. So where do you land on the carving / painting?
I've never carved a pumpkin before, so I'll just go ahead and throw that out there into the universe. Yep. No, but I have painted a pumpkin.
Do it to know just what a mess it is.
The feeling of just like grabbing the
I'll get back to you on that.
All the guts.
Yeah, all the
that
guts.
doesn't bother me as much. It's just that it is a process, and to make it look good, you have to me, you have to buy the little pumpkin kits and do all the things.
Yeah. And it rots so fast.
It does. That is true. There's a family I know that their tradition is to do a pumpkin paint-off. Like, I'm telling you, this is super competitive with this family. So I want to show you what it looks like. Let me give you a look at this year's entries. Wow. There are Disney characters, a gourd bride and groom, a beach ball, even a margarita. So let's give you some close-ups of what's on the table here.
That one is my favorite.
Yes, this is a Snow White witch and her apple. Really well done. I love that they used the stem as the nose. Then there's, of course, Bluey, the cartoon character. The 3D ears and the eyebrows make that one stand out. Then this is an homage to Jimmy Buffett, of course. They made a coconut margarita, 5 o'clock somewhere.
Is there real ice in there?
I think so. Here's the little mermaid pumpkin with her, you know, whatnots aplenty and the shells for her top. This is I Am Kenuff, right? Trendy for this year with Barbie and Ken and all that jazz. And then this one was one of my favorites, the Acme Old School Bomb, like from the cartoons. I mean, you know exactly what it is when you're looking at it, right? So did you have a favorite of all those?
Mm-hmm. The first one. I can't remember what
the Snow White.
The Snow White. Yeah, with the nose. That was cool.
Yeah, I'd have to say that's in my top 2 on that too. But I do like the bomb because it reminds me of.
so funny.
Yeah, it's like Roadrunner and the.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, Bluey, that's pretty impressive. I'm like looking at some of
Great.
these. The witch is probably my favorite for creativity, using the stem.
I mean, and then they put it out like on Facebook and Instagram, and then they have everybody that they know like vote.
Ooh,
right, because they can't decide among themselves.
Right.
Because
The
witch one.
The witch one.
The witch one for sure. Now, I have one more last painted pumpkin to show you.
Okay.
It's a doozy. Here we go. An Ohio artist has painted a massive pumpkin to be none other than Taylor Swift. So you're seeing it like in the fast forwardness. Jeanette Paris has been painting pop culture inspired pumpkins for years now. This is her time lapse released video.
Real hair?
I mean,
is that like weave?
well, it's like weave hair, right? A 399-pound gourd. That is pretty cool, is it not?
Wow, she jammed.
She
Did Taylor
jammed
ever see
on
this?
it. I don't know. That would be really cool if she did, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Happy Halloween,
girl.
peeps.
It's time for some Halloween parties tonight. Several streets in uptown Lexington will be closed for a spooktacular family-friendly event. The city's annual Boo Bash will have over 60 stations where children and family can get candy and play games for free. Organizers with Uptown Lexington Inc. say it's a safe place with roads fully staffed by members from the Lexington Police Department.
There's a bar crawl going on, and it lasts till the bars close. You get 4 stamps at a participating locations, and you get it into a raffle for a free prize.
Streets in uptown Lexington will close in about 10 minutes for tonight's Boo Bash.
And we're looking at a couple showers out there. Hey, the good news is this is kind of scooting out of here a little bit earlier. Southern Piedmont, you may hold on to a few of those sprinkles, maybe some drizzle or mist here or there. That's Southern Davidson, Randolph, and Montgomery. But I think for all the other counties, we're going to see this taper off pretty quickly, just in time for trick-or-treating. No arguments there. You can see if we go out to a wider shot back to the west, we're clearing out pretty quickly. Winds will pick up tomorrow with the passage of that cold front with the high pressure back to our left as the west. Then we'll see those winds out of the north. Gusting up to 25, maybe even 30 miles per hour, just depending on where you live. Long range forecast, we'll see a cold start to your day tomorrow at 32, a high of 49. All sunshine though, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. How about that? 28 for the coldest overnight low. That'll be Thursday morning. And then we bounce back. 60s on Friday and upper 60s close to 70 for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday under sunny skies.
Obviously, trick-or-treating is a big part of Halloween, but so are the costumes. Where did that tradition come from and originate? Well, we did some digging and we have a history lesson for you.
Halloween has been around in one form or another since the 1st century BC, and sweets have always played a big part. During Celtic celebrations, food was left out overnight to supposedly calm unwanted spirits. And in later centuries, people would dress up and play pranks for food and drinks. Those traditions were brought to the U.S. by Irish and Scottish immigrants in the mid-1800s. But by the 1920s, there were a lot more tricks than treats. Halloween became a night of vandalism and even acts of violence. So neighborhoods started getting together to hold organized events for kids. There was a break for sugar rations during World War II, but the tradition soon returned. The phrase trick-or-treating became common by the early 50s, showing up everywhere from Peanuts comics to Disney cartoons. And that popularity means trick-or-treating is now big business. Families spend over $2 billion on candy every year, making Halloween our second largest commercial holiday. And that's connecting the dots.
So I asked you on Facebook, what was your best Halloween memory ever? Peggy said, being scared sitting on the back steps of our house. I just knew I saw the witch ride her broom past the full moon, as my dad always told me I might see on Halloween night. Mickey says, trick-or-treating as a kid with my neighborhood friends and coming home to dump all my candy in the middle of the living room floor. Boy, I remember that. Kathy said, when I made my son a pile of leaves, I hot glued real leaves to a plastic tablecloth, and when kids came by, he jumped out and screamed. Scared them. Corinne says, I was 16 years old with my best friend Sherry. We drove around our country community trick-or-treating and visiting. The one trick we pulled was to build a teepee out of 2x4s on a driveway. Great memories from about 45 years ago. I had lots of good Halloween stuff, and I loved Halloween as a kid. I think I was Spider-Man for my first like 2 or 3 Halloweens, but I loved it. And then, yeah, coming home, dumping it all out, separating your candy, I love that.
I think that was the fun part, yeah, dumping it all out, seeing what kind of candies you get. And then I had siblings, so we would be trying to fight over who would get what candy, and did you get more candy than me, and all those things, so that was fun.
Tyler and Drew negotiate that.
See, I was gonna say, that's how we settled arguments in our family. My mom finally said, okay, no. We're putting it all together, and then like you go around and everybody takes one until the pile's gone, right?
Interesting.
That's how you gotta
There'll
do
be
it.
some arguments over that. You took that last Tootsie.
But you know, usually at least there's 2 or 3, you know.
Usually,
Fingers
yes.
crossed.
Unless families give out bags of stuff. You know, some families make their own things, more so back in the old days than now, but we used to fight over those.
Yeah, that's a good point. And then we have some pics here from the community of some kids. Look at the North Carolina. And then the cat. They're so. I love seeing little kids dressed up. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. We had one picture of a baby dressed up as a hot dog that we got to us. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was precious.
I love it. Very cute. All right, we'll take a break. We're coming right back.
After Guilford County Sheriff talked about geosafety. Yes. Testing 1, 2, 3. Now, this is one of the university signs that were vandalized, and I saw the
and more. Live and Liberty. We talked to some people who live in the area who have infrastructure concerns, so I reached out to the Liberty.
So in the sentencing hearing, witnesses are being called in, evidence is being brought before a judge.
Howdy, happy Halloween. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9.
Hi there, Minnesota, Mississippi, excuse me, Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia.
Hi, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie. They forever go together like a classic combination.
Hey, it's time for my 2 cents, and today it's really my wife Leslie's 2 cents. So let me set the scene for you. There was a tear in a screen on our screened-in back porch for several months. I should have fixed it, did not. And birds were coming in. We'd have to let them out. Well, over the weekend, Tyler saw something and grabbed the phone and showed us this.
Look at that.
Yes, you saw that right. It is a hawk on our back porch. Apparently, he had chased a cardinal into our back porch, devoured the cardinal, and then now my wife says, well, we got to get him out of the back porch. He doesn't know how to leave. What does she do? She puts on 2 oven mitts. That's it, and walks out to address the hawk. With these 2 oven mitts, she walks up like it's no big deal to approach a wild hawk, almost in the wild. And with him fluttering a little bit and trying to figure out what was going on, she gently, over time, had a couple of attempts, gets the hawk, squats down to the hole where the screen is and releases him, and he soars away. I could not believe, I wasn't there when this happened. When I came back, I could not believe what I had seen. Of course, she wasn't happy that I hadn't fixed the screened-in porch.
I'm gonna kill your dad.
Yes, it was fixed about 2 hours later. And I'm still alive, so all is well. That's just my 2 cents. It only happens at the Chilton House. And that's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.
Look at this. Surveillance cameras catch the person wanted for vandalizing NC A&T last night. This happened just hours after law enforcement said they were increasing security ahead of their homecoming events.
And the cold air is here. We've got your trick-or-treating forecast plus a freeze warning in effect for tonight.